the news on the network service of Radio Nigeria. I am Princess Boraro. Today, we'll have a special team.
I'm Fubara Pepple, but let's begin with headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari seeks parliamentary approval for $800 million World Bank loan. Inspector General of Police solicits National Assembly backup for police training institutions. Nigerian Union of Journalists applauds court ruling on National Broadcasting Commission sanction of media houses. Two babies rescued near Lake Kivu days after floods kill hundreds in DR Congo. We have a spotlight on the inauguration of the dredging of the Okuta Lake to the Atlantic Ocean, while our commentary today is on enhanced local agricultural produce for a viable economy.
I'd like to remind you that this news is streaming live on RadioNigeria.gov.ng. You can always follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Radio Nigeria HQ and on Facebook at facebook.com/Radio Nigeria Network. The details of the news will be read by Kelvin Ugwu. Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. President Muhammadu Buhari has requested the Senate to approve an additional loan facility to the tune of $800 million to be secured from the World Bank for the National Social Safety Net Program. In a letter read at plenary by the Senate President Ahmed Lawan, the President explained that the program is intended to expand coverage of shock-responsive safety net support among the poor and vulnerable Nigerians. This, he said, would assist them in coping with the cost of meeting basic needs. He explained that the federal government, under the conditional cash transfer window of the program, will transfer the sum of 5,000 naira per month to 10.2 million poor and low-income households for a period of 6 months, with a multiplier effect on about 60 million individuals. The president said that the National Social Safety Net Program would stimulate activities in the informal sector, improve nutrition, health, education, and human capital development of beneficiary households. The Central Bank of Nigeria says the bank verification number has no expiry date. In a statement, the Apex Bank's acting director of corporate communications, Dr. Issa Abdul Mumin, says, contrary to certain reports, that the BVN expires after 10 years. The BVN had no such expiry component. The statement explains that once the customer's biometrics have been captured and enrolled in the database, the BVN remains for life. It urges the banking public to disregard the misinformation about the BVN. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, has developed an industry digital automated platform for monitoring the Host Community Development Trust, HCDT. The chief executive of the commission, Mr. Gbenga Komolafe, who made this known at a workshop on implementation of the trust in Abuja, said the initiative was to enhance transparent administration of the host community's provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA 2021. Mr. Komolafe explained that the Commission developed the platform in partnership with an original equipment manufacturer to meet the obligations to host communities in a transparent and accountable manner. The chief executive of NUPRC further said, so far, 75 host community development trusts have been developed, out of which 41 have been fully incorporated by the Corporate Affairs Commission. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo is expected in Imo State today on a one-day working visit. While in the state, the Vice President will inaugurate the hypographic survey and dredging of sea route from Oguta Lake to the Atlantic Ocean. The survey, which is a precursor to the clearance of the entire route spanning Oguta Lake, Orashi River to Degema and the Atlantic Ocean, was initiated by Governor Hope Uzodimma to open up the economic corridor in the southeast and enhance maritime security in the Niger Delta region. In a statement, the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Declan Emelumba, said the project would be executed under public-private partnership with the Nigerian Navy and a consortium of international companies. He explains that the dredging would aid security agencies in checking oil bunkering and crude oil theft. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, has urged the outgoing National Assembly to expedite action and pass the bills seeking establishment of all police training institutions in the country to provide legal and operational framework for them. The IGP made a call during a stakeholders engagement organized by the Joint Senate and House of Representatives Committee on Police Affairs. This, according to him, will streamline police training to be in tune with international best practices. Al-Khali Baba explained that executive instruments currently before the Parliament were products of the Police Reform Committee, domiciled in the Office of the Chief of Staff to the President, stressing that training was an essential part of operations of the police. The Speaker, Femi Bajabiamila, represented by the Deputy Chairman of the Committee on Appropriations, Iduma Igariwe, noted that if the legal framework is in place, it would help in better funding of the institutions. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Haliru Jika, and his House counterpart, Usman Bello Kumo, in their separate remarks, pledged speedy passage of the bills before the Ninth Assembly went down. The Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, says over 46.2 billion naira matching grants is still lying unaccessed in spite of the poor state of many primary schools across the country. Acting Executive Secretary of UBEC, Professor Bala Zakari, made this known during an oversight visit to the Commission by the Senate Committee on Basic and Secondary Education. Presenting the 2022 Capital Budget Implementation Report, Professor Zakari said over 162 billion naira was allocated to the states, being UBE grants between 2019 and 2022, out of which 116 billion naira was accessed by the 36 states and FCT. On the levels of UBE matching grant accessed by states, he said in 2019, 35 states and FCT accessed the 2019 matching grant, with Anambra yet to access it as of April 30 this year. The Executive Secretary further stated that 29 states had accessed the 2022 matching grant projects, while 7 states and FCT had yet to access it.
Big Brother Kelvin, a.k.a, has clocked the mandatory retirement age of 60 today. Kelvin Ugwu, who began his broadcast career in Enugu as a young, bubbling broadcaster, started as a duty continuity announcer on Radio Nigeria's Capital FM 92.9 in 2003, and was chosen to be among the top male network news readers due to his appealing voice, dexterity, and adding value to scripts. But as you know already, he's here with us. Kelvin, once again. Good morning and congratulations.
Goodness, thank you.
Congratulations. Uncle K, yeah.
You're not on KFM now.
No, yeah, that's my guy.
From now, I'm not Uncle K.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so of course, go ahead.
Good morning, good to have you.
Pleasure to be
This will
here.
definitely not be the last time. So congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about how your journey into the broadcasting industry began. Because I know I watched you on TV, one Nigerian movie where you played the role of a priest, a Reverend Father. So how did you delve into the broadcasting industry at the beginning?
I actually started in 1988. I started a broadcast. My broadcasting career started before acting, and it wasn't part of any plan. I never dreamt about it. I didn't think about it. I just accompanied somebody to the Anambra television then, and I liked the way they were communicating and expressing themselves. And I asked, what does it take to be here? And he said, well, you must be able to speak well.
You started now. Communicate.
So I said, let me try and see if I can do it. That's it. I started going for audition.
Okay, so when you saw them and you started going for auditions, I'm sure you must have had a dream. You had aspirations. What were they, and did you achieve them?
Well, talking about dream, when I started, I had no dream. I just wanted to prove that I could do it.
Okay.
But later on, when I discovered there was so much power behind this mic, I started having a dream that I would move to Radio Nigeria. And Radio Nigeria will prepare me for an international broadcast outfit, and that was the dream I had. Now I didn't achieve that, but I was able to make it to Radio Nigeria.
Now, okay, now monetarily, what did it pay? And if it didn't pay off, what made you stay with the course?
Well, if you get that question, did it pay? I don't know, but I take care of my family, and my children are in school. Some of them are in private school. You understand? Two of them are in private school, and you know what that means. But the thing is, when we started, a lot of people told us there wasn't money in this job, but I can, I think, disagree now. There's no cash directly, like you are paid $500,000. No, you can't. You are not paid $500,000, but you can get a contact that can give you connection. And throughout the years, it's not up to 35 years. I think 2 years before 35, I've met a lot of people that just because of what I do here, they did things that ordinarily they wouldn't have done. I could enter offices that I can't enter just because I am Kelvin Ugwu.
Now, you were a one-time regular face on what is today known as Nollywood. You're obviously very multi-talented, and at some point you delved into music. How did you combine all of these things together at the same time? Because I understand that this job takes a lot of time and commitment.
Exactly. Well, I was a member of FRCM choir in excuse me, in Enugu, and when I started, somebody said to me, he said, Kelvin, now that you are into broadcasting, if you combine singing and broadcasting, you will lose your voice before you get up to 40. And somehow, I didn't seek a second opinion. I just listened to the person. So I stopped singing, and then I went into broadcasting. Then in 1995, I said, let me try and see if I can act. And that's how I started acting. So, but what happened was that I was already on radio. So they saw me as a star. So it was easy for me to act and then go to location, and then they would take me to the office. I run my shift when I'm on night shooting. I'll run my shift till 12 midnight. They would send the car to come and pick me, so it was that easy for me. But when I got here, I couldn't continue because it wasn't that easy. It was tough. But now I will be going back again. Then the year we marked our 50th anniversary, I got some songs for Nigeria, and I had to record them. That was when I went back again, almost after about 20 years. And after that, I did those songs, about 11 songs for Nigeria, and I stopped again.
I remember when you handed over some CDs to me.
Yes.
Okay. So what were the lessons learned, and you advise to young upcoming broadcasters?
My coming year, in fact, I've learned a lot. One is that Nigerians are not what some people try to make us believe they are. I have seen love here from people of different tribes. And it's amazing because before I got to this place, the impression was that people from the north don't like people from the east, and vice versa. Then I also have learned to tolerate a lot of people. People come with different issues. And now I understand that people have a lot of things they are dealing with, and some are not able to handle it. And so it affects their relationship with people. So basically, I've learned that Nigeria is beautiful.
Most
Then,
memorable.
sorry, the issue of the young people, I've said it. There is, I try to encourage them because this job is the noblest of all professions. So it's not easy touching lives, making people happy, lifting spirits of people, and inspiring people.
What next for Mr. Kelvin Ugwu?
Entertainment and more entertainment. I'm looking forward to having my own radio station. I'm looking forward to producing movies with family values and Christian movies. And I think I'm going to be more visible on the social media platforms.
Okay, like we say on the prayer platform, ahead of what God is about to do next, let me be the first to say, Congratulations.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And
Thank
today
you.
happens to be Mr. Kelvin Ugwu's 60th birthday. Happy birthday to you, sir.
Thank you.
And happy retirement as well.